If you take a look at it from the China perspective, something much more dramatic, though, I know that you're proposing, and this was in a note that you sent out a couple of weeks ago with a pretty dramatic title, High Noon for Trump's Trade War, was what you entitled it. You're saying that China should, among other things, cancel the gambling licenses for U.S. names like Sands and Wynn. And this obviously refers to their operations in Macau, right, which is part of China now.
Yeah, I think that Trump talks about reciprocity, and you cannot imagine a Chinese company getting a casino license in the United States. So I think that it's only fair that China should do the same. And besides, these guys are bigger money contributors to the Trump side. I think that no, this is something that China should do, and but the government is very concerned about like if you doing something negative to a business that's selling inside China, and you might scare other people. I think that the issue is that Trump wants reciprocity, and then China should go there. And whatever reciprocity Trump wants, China can agree to it. So this is where I think that you look at TikTok, right? And then they say that Google and Facebook are not in China. Actually, they left on their own because they did not want to comply with the Chinese laws. So TikTok is complying with the U.S. laws. And they say that they want to kick it out. So this is where I think that China needs to take a much harder line in terms of this reciprocity. If you don't allow our companies in, we shouldn't let your companies in.
And you were saying, Andy, that China should understand that if the U.S. wanted to move away from the trade relations with China, it would have done so already. So basically alluding to the fact that the U.S. needs China. Perhaps China cannot afford it either because its economy, the domestic market, is not really mature to the level that it can actually walk away from the United States.
I think that it's becoming much easier now. 6 years ago, there were a lot of fears inside China, and people always were used to like emulating or copying American companies. So the U.S. kind of decoupling from China was a psychological shock. I think that over the last 6 years, I think people have become more and more confident because there are all these tech sanctions. Most were broken through, and in terms of software, the substitutes for Android, for Windows, and all there. So it's taken 6 years. I think there's a lot of confidence now that China can go on its own. So this is why that it's willing to go to negotiate, play hardball with the U.S., and it's willing to risk a complete decoupling with the United States. So in terms of what foreign media is talking about, this labor market in China, consumption and so forth, these are really not important. Okay, they make a difference to GDP growth rate by 0.5% or 1%, but it's not really important. And as long as we have economic stability, that's good enough. And what's important is to develop more and more capabilities. Ultimately, the economy depends on what you can do. So this is why I think that and China is a lot more confident than before, and is prepared for a complete decoupling from the United States.
All right. So push further with its self-sufficiency mandate and continue to support, I don't know, the technology names and the SOEs in China. Is that what you see Beijing will be doing down the road?
I think that the most important thing is to spread the money around, nurturing new companies. You look at in the AI space, the companies with a lot of money didn't work out very well. It's the companies that didn't have much money and struggled, broke through. So this is a lesson. I think the Chinese government is really paying attention to that, and spreading money around like a VC. So this is no, certainly most companies will fail, but it's okay. Some will succeed. So there's a technology investment boom, like a VC boom in China. Anybody with a good idea and will get funded because China still has a lot of money. So this is where I think that the government is believing in this. So in semiconductor sector, a lot of new companies, tens of thousands. I think a lot will not work out. But tens of thousands enter the space every year. But wasting some money is okay, as long as that eventually it will work out.